Happy Friday, football fans. Today is January 5th. Happy New Year to those who believe in the passage of time. I'm not so sure, but that's for a different video. I'm Kevin Carroll. He's Joe Soprano. And we are from TLSportsBetting.com, here to get you started in the new year, get you started right in 2024 with a couple of surefire winners. We got one more college football game, actually two more college football games to be technical. The FCS Championship goes off on Sunday, and we got the last week of NFL action, a good Week 18 schedule. Why don't you start us? Well, actually, let's talk a little bit. We can talk a little bit about the national championship game, but I think we both came to an agreement that I'm not going to actually give out a pick for it.
Yeah, I'm staying away from it too. I don't know which way it's going to go. I don't think anybody in the world outside of the state of Michigan wants to see Jim Harbaugh win the national championship. This man has broken every rule there is. He should be coaching the Pittsburgh Panthers, the University of Pittsburgh Panthers. That would be a perfect spot for him. Maybe even on the dumbest man in football staff. That's where I would put him. I would leave Narduzzi as the head man, and Harbaugh could be his cheating coordinator.
New Year, same Narduzzi cracks, nothing changes. And as for me, if you read my column in today's paper, and if you've been reading the past couple of weeks and watching these videos, you'll know that I have a future on Washington to win the national championship. There's a lot at stake. There's a lot at play here. Do I cash out? That's not happening. Do I hedge? Do I double down? I don't want to jinx it. Basically, I'm very superstitious. You know, I've gotten mad at you for jinxing my picks before. Very mad. I think I've actually underplayed how furious I was in some of those instances. So I know where I'm at with Washington. I'm just going to let it ride and see how it goes. I feel very confident in Washington. I think they're still being undervalued like they've been all week. But I'm not giving a formal pick here because I don't want to take. If I take an L here, I'm taking like 5 L's, and I just that's not the way to start 2024. So let's get to the NFL. Why don't you start us off?
All right, I'm going into New York, where you've got the Philadelphia Eagles playing the New York Giants.
You're going to New Jersey, technically.
Well, yeah, New Jersey. If you miss the exit for the Meadowlands, you're going to New York.
Yeah.
So, but I think the Eagles are a team in free fall. It's a 5.5 point spread. I don't think they cover the spread. I don't even think they win this game. I think that the Giants are going to come out last game of the season. They have something to prove. They're going to play like a chip on their shoulder. I think getting away from Tommy Cutlets at quarterback, Tyrod Taylor, gives them a chance to move the ball. I think the Giants win this game outright. At the very least, they cover 5.5. I think the Eagles, they're going to lose this game. They're going to lose in the wild card round, and they're going to be done.
I'm going to disagree with you here. Not with the latter part of that, because I do think they're going to have some serious problems in the playoffs. But against the Giants, I think this is a good spot for a get-right game for the Eagles. I'm going to take the Eagles with the 5.5 points. I believe they got it at 5 in the paper, but 5.5 is more likely what it's going to be when you actually get to the game day. 5.5 sounds good to me. And this is what I'm talking about. I think that at some point, the Eagles are in free fall. I think at some point they're really going to want to look to sort of straighten some things out. At the very least, just look like the play. They were at 10-1 at one point. They're 11-5 now. I think they're going to want to at least look like that team from the first 11 weeks. And I think the Giants are a good spot to do that. They played 2 weeks ago, I believe, and they didn't cover. They were 13.5 point favorites, and they won by 8. They were dominating that first half, and then Tyrod Taylor came in and completely flipped the game on its head, and the Giants actually had a chance to go. They had the ball, one-possession game. They kept it close. What I'm thinking here, though, is, and this is largely hinging on the Eagles' defense preparing and getting ready, which they've had some struggles, but Tyrod Taylor is a very capable guy. He's been around the league for so long, and that's no accident. But I do think there's something to be said about him coming into that game that 2 weeks ago and them not being ready for him and him doing some different things that Tommy DeVito doesn't do. I think the Eagles will be better prepared for him, and I think the Giants they might want to finish strong, but I also don't think they had. I also think they might just want to be getting done. I think they might probably just want to get to the locker room. The Eagles still have an outside chance at winning the East. They're going to need Dallas to lose. I think that might be the extent of it, but Dallas has Washington. That's not going to be a game they probably lose. But the Eagles do have some incentive to play because the difference between a 2 seed and the likely 2 or 3 seed and a 5 seed and having to go right on the road immediately. So I do think that the Eagles are going to straighten some things out. I do think they're going to have problems in the playoffs when they face some better teams. But the Giants, for all the attention we've given them and DeVito mania and all that, they're not that good. They're just not that good. And I think the Eagles are going to try to make a statement here in this last week of the NFL season.
For all those people that for Christmas got those Tommy Cutlet shirts And I know a couple of them. I know at least one of my friends has gotten a Tommy Cutlets.
Oh, yeah.
Got a Tommy Cutlets hoodie. And you know what? You can still wear them. Just cover the "let's" part, because a couple of weeks, it's going to be Tommy Cuts, because he's going to be cut from the Giants. He won't be there next year. This guy was the definition of a flash in the pan.
He'll be selling pasta sauce in 2-3 weeks time.
Or maybe getting rid of some bodies in New Jersey. Who knows?
Yeah. Allegedly. Okay, so we split on that game. I think we have different games for our second picks. Why don't you take us to your second pick?
Well, I'm going down to the other end of the country, down to Miami. The Bills are playing in Miami. They're a 3-point favorite. I like this game because both teams have something to play for. The winner wins the AFC East. So you don't have to worry about motivation when you're putting money on it. You don't have to worry about who's playing and who's not playing. Everybody's going to be playing. Everybody's going to be motivated. It's a regular season game that means a whole lot. I like the Bills because I just think they're a little bit better of a football team. It's been a schizophrenic season for both these teams. At different points in the season, each one of them looked like they were juggernauts, and then wheels came off at different times. But I think the Bills with Josh Allen at quarterback are just a little bit stronger team. I think he's a little bit more of a seasoned quarterback in big games like this. He's been in the AFC Championship game. I look for a big game out of him on Sunday night. And for the Bills to win this one, and it's 3 points. They'll cover the 3.
Of a Dolphins future too. So I probably would agree with you though in terms of taking the Bills. I think the Bills are peaking at the right time. I think the Dolphins are sputtering at the wrong time. I'm going to Green Bay. A big game for the Packers here. They are 3-point favorites, 3 or 3.5-point favorites, depending on what book you use, against the Chicago Bears, the rivalry, the NFC North's best rivalry. The Bears are kind of playing pretty well, right? They're pretty hot. They're one of the hotter teams. They're out of playoff contention, so it's sometimes it's a little easier to win when you're really not playing for anything. But they've been looking really sharp. Fields coming back from injury. He missed a couple games there, but he's looked pretty sharp coming back. The Packers have been a little up and a little down, and it's kind of hard to pin down where this team's going. But they're winning in. I do believe they're winning in, but they could, they're right on that bubble right now. They're in right now, but if they lose and some teams behind them win, they're out. So they have a lot to play for. And it's these numbers have been publicized, and I think everyone knows it, but it does kind of shock me. Since the year 2000, the Packers are 36-12 against the Bears, and they have not lost to the Bears since 2018. That is crazy. I know a lot of that was Favre and Rodgers, and we're not Favre and Rodgers anymore, but Jordan Love is at his best looked very good. He's a little inconsistent and a little you kind of don't know what you're going to get from him, but I think against the Bears, I think there's going to be some motivation to beat the Bears because they beat the Bears all the time. I don't think that mentality died when Aaron Rodgers went to New York. I think that they're better on both sides of the ball. I know that the Bears' offense is looking pretty sharp, but they might not have Darnell Mooney, so you think you cover DJ Moore up, and then where do you go? The Packers have a pretty lengthy injury report, but again, they're playing to get into the playoffs, so I think a lot of guys who might otherwise sit out if they were safe and locked in. Guys like Jaden Reed, guys like Christian Watson, they're fantastic receivers. I think they're all going to do whatever it takes to play and at full strength. I wouldn't want to see this Packers team in the playoffs, to be quite honest. I don't think the Bears are going to want to see this Packers team on Sunday. I think the Packers roll here, make a statement. I'm big on making statements heading into the playoffs. I love a good statement. Good statement. Good statement of fact.
Here's a good statement of fact.
Good statement of fact.
Pat Narduzzi is one of the dumbest people in the history of the world.
Is it a fact?
Well, in my book, it's a fact.
Okay. Some might say that's an opinion, but you know what? If you look at the data, you look at the numbers, the facts and the figures, it's tough to say. What do you think? You think Pat's going to be back in 2024?
Oh yeah. He's already hired a new offensive coordinator. They're bringing him back. But I think his seat's going to be very, very hot in 2024.
Any New Year's resolutions for you?
Well, I've got some New Year's resolutions to start picking some more winners. I had a couple of dry stretches during the 2023 season, but it's a new year, new picks. I think I got a couple of winners this week.
Yeah, my resolution this year, I was watching the tape. By tape, I mean I was going into the sports books and watching myself go into the sports books to see what I'm doing. And I have come up with a similar resolution. I'm only going to pick games that I win. I am not going to pick any games that I lose this year. Because you see, picking losers loses you money, and picking winners is good. I don't know why I was picking games that lost. It was just a weird glitch in my brain. I don't know, a glitch in the matrix, whatever. But this year, I'm only going to pick winners. That's my New Year's resolution, and it starts here.
It's better to have winners than it is to have losers. But you've already got one loser because we know the Giants are going to win that game outright on Sunday.
I like this. I like that we're going to have a little head-to-head action right off the bat here in 2024. And again, folks, everything you need to get your 2024 off to a hot start on the gambling front, tlsportsbetting.com. Get ready for the national championship game, the FCS national championship game, South Dakota State and Montana on Sunday, and of course all your Week 18 action. Everything you need to get ready for the big games. tlsportsbetting.com is the place to go. As always, thank you for watching. Have a great new year, great 2024, and we'll see you next week.